This is Channel 7 Action News at 6. Today's date is March the 20th, 2015.
From the spending and hiring freeze Evans recently imposed on the financially strapped county.
You're still saying within the budget, because that's priority. I have talked to the CEO about this, and said he's very open to coming to a solution.
In fact, Worthy says rehiring has already begun, and she claims the backlog has been reduced, but not enough.
We've actually gone down from the numbers that we used to have to the numbers we have now. But it's still a huge problem.
According to Worthy's office, there's a total of 1,494 backlog warrants pending countywide. All of those are for suspects not currently in custody. It's those cases Worthy wants to and plans to get ahead of. Because, regardless of demand, she says,
we are not going to do it and just rubber stamp everything that comes through here.
So when Lisa Barron's case comes through, she may need to be patient, but hopefully not as patient as before. Worthy can't say how long it'll take to fill all of her open positions, but she hopes to drastically increase her prosecuting attorney staff within months. In Detroit, I'm Jonathan Carlson, 7 Action News.
Grosse Pointe Woods police are trying to sort out what happened to a local ER doctor who says he was stabbed in his own home.
7 Action News reporter Tim Russell tells us the doctor's actions after the attack are now being called into question. Imagine you're asleep, you wake up, there are 4 people in your house, they attack you, stabbing you with a syringe and a knife. Somehow you get away alive. What do? You call 911 for help, right? Well, what the doctor who lives in this house did has police asking questions. If what the doctor says happened did happen, it happened on the most peaceful of streets, Fairholme Street in Grosse Pointe Woods.
It's just very quiet. It's that kind of a neighborhood.
Neighbors heard nothing. No screams, no commotion, no sign anything was wrong until reporters knocked on their doors.
We were out for breakfast when we came home. This is what showed up. So hopefully you can tell us what's going on.
Neighbors say Dr. James Milliken, the man who lives in this house where police could be seen collecting evidence, is a nice man.
He's just a good neighbor. Nice, quiet, kept to himself, kids.
A St. John Macomb Hospital spokesperson tells us that good neighbor is in the hospital, now a patient, where he normally works as an ER doctor. He's in fair condition, recovering from stabbing wounds. Police in Grosse Pointe Woods say they only found out about what happened after the doctor drove himself to the hospital in Warren, where he was admitted. They wonder why he drove so far with stabbing wounds. There were hospitals near his house. And why didn't he call 911?
You would most likely want to contact your local police department, your local EMS to get the fastest response and the greatest care as soon as possible.
And that would also help with apprehending people too. You guys know.
Absolutely. The sooner we have information about the crime that occurs or some type of event, the sooner we can piece things together and apprehend criminals.
So far, police haven't arrested anyone for what happened inside this house. Police say if there's more to the story than the doctor let on, they aim to find out. In Grosse Pointe Woods, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Tonight we're learning 3 University of Michigan students will be charged for vandalizing rooms at the Treetop Ski Resort in Gaylord. The 3 men are all members of the Michigan chapter of the Sigma Alpha Mu fraternity. This includes the chapter's president, treasurer, and another member. There are several charges, including a felony charge for malicious destruction of a building. About 120 members of the frat were at the ski resort on Martin Luther King weekend, along with members of the sorority Sigma Delta Tau. The resort is estimated the fraternity was responsible for more than $400,000 worth of damage.
Should people be able to open carry on school grounds in other gun-free zones? Not against state law, but it does cause schools to go into lockdown when anyone carries right on campus. 7 Action News reporter Jane Park tells us about new legislation now in the works to close that loophole.
An open carry advocate wielding his gun near Lamphere High School in Madison Heights earlier this month triggered a lockdown here, and now one Michigan lawmaker is drafting legislation he says would close the loophole that made that guy's actions legal. That man posted his run-in with police on YouTube, invoking his rights. Michigan's current gun law allows CTL holders to open carry in gun-free zones such as schools, which has caused a number of headaches for local school districts. Administrators say there needs to be reform.
There needs to be a great discussion between school administrators, gun rights folks, the legislators. Let's come together and decide on something that works well for people and makes parents feel safe, makes schools feel safe, and doesn't get in the way of what we're trying to do, which is educate kids.
Green says a bill he's drafting is one possible solution. It closes the open carry loophole, but also would allow licensed gun holders to carry discreetly.
There's a lot of high crime areas in a number of places in the state. Sometimes these gun-free zones are where perpetrators begin causing problems because they know there's no guns there.
An enhanced CPL, if you will, he says, that will require much more extensive training and education.
A separate type of a license that gave you the ability to carry in gun-free zones concealed.
A similar bill Green introduced a few years ago was vetoed by Governor Snyder, who today tells Action News it's time to revisit the matter.
I would like to see some progress on particularly looking at, do we need open carry in schools? I don't believe so. But that's part of the legislative process. I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion going on.
But many say there's simply no place for guns, open carry or concealed, on school grounds.
I think schools do a pretty good job across the country of making sure that we have really good emergency procedures, we have lockdown procedures. That's our number one priority, to protect our kids.
Senator Mike Green tells us there's no timeline for this legislation. It is still in the works, and he tells us he does expect bipartisan support. In Madison Heights, Jane Park, 7 Action News.
And while he was here, the governor also made a pitch for raising the state sales tax to pay for road repairs. He says nobody likes Michigan roads, and many have deteriorated to the point of dangerous. The big question is, do you want the state sales tax to jump from 6 to 7% to fix the problems? The governor is pushing for a yes vote on May 5th.
We've been underinvesting in our roads for years. Compared to Ohio, we spend $1 billion less. Let's invest more in our roads, and let's have safer roads.
The plan would raise $1.2 billion for roads, but also money for schools, local governments, low-income tax relief, plus the actual road money won't be available for a couple of years. The governor will talk more about it this Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on 7 Spotlight on the News. Well, certainly a nice night in downtown Detroit. The official start of spring is just, what about 30 minutes away?
We're ready for it now, Dave. We want spring to come.
Let's go, people! Carolyn's ready. Spring starts here at 6:45. So you do the math. So Stephen's just here. 39? Now it's 38. Here's what's going on. Let's not do 38. Let's do 48. Oh, you're on at 48. 49 in Pontiac. Can I get 50? 50 for Ann Arbor. 50 if you go on to Detroit. At 51 degrees right now. You can see it's a mixture of clouds and sunshine around the area. A little warmer in the last couple of days. Told you so. Here's the deal. Pretty good batch of cold air to our north. Pretty good batch of warm air to our west. Which one gets in here for the weekend? Well, kind of sort of both. First the warmth and then the cold, all right? Let's just put it this way. First the mild weather, then the cooler weather. Clouds and sun mixed together around the area right now. Here's what happens with our weather headlines now. It looks like we roll along here as the milder start to the weekend. Yes, indeed, a little chilly air, though, quickly returns, and guess what? It goes back and forth all week. We'll show you that in 70 forecast. Just do it.
All right, Rex, we'll talk in a bit. A new bus service could soon be available for people in Livingston County who want to commute to Ann Arbor. Last night, the Ann Arbor Area Transit Authority voted in favor of a resolution to launch an express commuter bus service on US 23. Now, according to InLive, the board will provide the service if funding to build and maintain park and ride lots is made available along with other key provisions. It would provide service from Brighton to Ann Arbor. A lot of people will be happy about that. Well, crashes involving cars and trains are on the rise here in Michigan. Our state has the 10th highest rate in the nation, according to new figures cited by the Detroit News. There were 78 crashes in Michigan last year, up from 61 the year before. 12 people were killed and 25 others injured during the wrecks in 2014. The spike in recent years is blamed on driver error, including distracted driving.
The city of Detroit tonight is disputing a report that the water department is gearing up to resume shutoffs for customers who haven't paid their bills. So the National News reporter Mike Wolfoff has the story.
Detroit water customers, if you are behind on your bill, you're in no way off the hook here. The city wants and needs you to pay up. But Chief of Staff Alexis Wiley says right now there are no plans to once again start issuing those controversial shutoff notices.
Mid-April is not a set date when we're going to start residential shutoff.
That's the word from Mayor Mike Duggan's Chief of Staff, Alexis Wiley, telling Action News the city's goal is to keep as many people connected to water as possible. But not paying the bills is not an option.
We have to make sure that everyone's paying their fair share, because if your neighbor doesn't pay, then somebody else has to pay for the bill. Because
the rates go up across the city.
We all remember how this issue blew up last summer. The Detroit Water and Sewage Department shutting off service to thousands of delinquent customers a week. Critics were outraged, and the story went global. Tonight, the city wants people to know things are being handled differently.
We want to make sure that everyone who's in need of assistance gets it, and we want to help people keep their water on.
Wiley says the city currently is focused on delinquent commercial customers and also anyone illegally hooked up to the water system. Human rights activist Maureen Taylor, an outspoken critic of the city's handling of the situation, remains critical tonight because she says many of those unauthorized connections are to people just trying to survive. In a statement to Action News, Taylor says, "Why must it hurt to be low income, and why are our conditions not improved by elected officials in charge of caring for all the people and not just some of the people?" Alexis Wiley says Mayor Duggan does care.
Our focus is really on getting more people to the payment plans and helping them stay in those payment plans.
Now, while Alexis Wiley says there is no set date right now to start issuing shut-off notices, she says they will eventually come for those who don't either pay up or get themselves into one of those payment plans. In Detroit, Mike Wolfo, 7 Action News.
Tonight we are going after a business owner accused of causing a big mess in the city of Detroit.
Take a look at the dozens of tires that were dumped on a vacant lot that was just cleaned up. 7 Action News reporter Ronnie Dahl confronts the owner. Next.
Plus, a woman violently attacked at a bus stop. What the crook was after.
And a new program from General Motors that lets parents keep an eye on teen drivers. It's all next at 6.
And welcome back to Channel 7. We're just taking a break really quick. We just have just a little bit of an emotional, just a little bit of a, I guess one of the stories that Channel 7 had on there was kind of emotional for one of our viewers. But we just want to thank that viewer, that anonymous viewer, for what they did by commenting, saying that he'd rather that doctor had called 911, and this is what he had to say about it. I was like really upset about it. I didn't know what to think about it. I mean, when I seen it on TV, I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I mean, when I heard about it, and there's a lot of questioning going on and all this other stuff, and then when I found out what you should do in an event, I just started breaking up crying because I'm glad that they took my advice that you should call 911 first, and you can get the help. You can get the help quicker. I don't think it's a good idea. If you're injured like that, you should never drive. You should never drive yourself to the hospital. Not like that. Not in that kind of condition and go that far to the hospital when they said that there was like one, right in the area. I don't understand it. Yeah, that is kind of an emotional thing for you especially, because I know that you care about people, and so you said the best thing to do is if there's ever a type of an emergency, they should call 911. Yes, they should call 911 and tell them what the emergency is, but maybe he felt that it was the right thing to do. I don't know. But when I heard it, I was shocked. And I am now. But I'm glad that they took my advice about that you should get on the phone and you should call 911, because 911 could be there in a second and get you the help that you need. So I just want to thank Channel 7 for what they did, and the other people out there that heard my comments. Thank you. That was very emotional to hear that. Oh my God. Back to Channel 7.
Hundreds of tires that are piled high on a lot on Detroit's west side.
And it's more than just an eyesore. It is a safety hazard for people who live in that neighborhood. So we sent Action News reporter Ronnie Dahl to find out who's responsible for this big mess.
A few months ago, city contractors tore down the house that was on this lot, but it didn't stay clear for long. Soon after, the tires started piling up, and they're coming from next door. One tire turned into two turned into dozens. Before long, the recently cleared lot on Derby Street near 8 Mile and John R. started to resemble a used tire graveyard.
No, it's not safe, is it?
The lot shouldn't be full of tires, because if there's a fire, they'll burn forever.
And your house is right there.
Yes, yes.
Neighbors knew exactly who was behind the dumping. Where are the tires from?
They're coming from the guy in the tire shop right there.
I paid a visit to A1 Kelly Rims and Tires Thursday evening. I was told Rod, the boss, wasn't in, so I came back Friday. Hello, anyone in here? Eventually, the boss rolled out. Why are you putting tires on the lot behind you?
That, I'm fencing the lot.
It's not your lot.
I know. I'm in the process of buying it.
Here's where Rod's hustle comes in. Turns out his brother used to own the property. He'd let it go into foreclosure. It gets turned over to the city of Detroit. Now good old Rod wants to buy it. So your brother lets it go into foreclosure. The taxpayers pay to tear down the house, and now you want to come back and get a sweet deal and buy the lot for $100.
Everybody doing it, why not me?
Before you think I'm picking on a man just trying to make a living, this is where Rod lives. A $500,000 home in West Bloomfield. No tires piled up around here. I would imagine you wouldn't get away with that in West Bloomfield, though, would you? So why are you doing it in Detroit? He may not be able to much longer. Late this afternoon, a city inspector arrived to investigate the tire dumping dilemma. Rod says he had no plans of keeping the tires here. He just put them here to make it easier for the hauler to get in. But the truck got stuck. He says they'll be cleared away in the next week or two. I, of course, will be checking back to make sure they are. In Detroit, Ronnie Doss, 7 Action News.
A woman is recovering tonight from a violent purse snatching at a Roseville bus stop. A 59-year-old was attacked last night as she waited for the bus at Gratiot near Frazo. Police say a man grabbed her purse and knocked her to the ground. She may have suffered a broken shoulder and ribs. The purse was found a few blocks away with everything in it, but $10.
Well, General Motors is set to unveil a system that will keep an eye on teen drivers for mom and dad. It will be available on the redesigned 2016 Chevrolet Malibu. GM says the system will mute the radio when seat belts are not buckled. Teens will also get a warning if the vehicle goes over speeds preset by parents. The new Malibu goes on sale later this year, so you got to buy them a new car, huh?
There you go. All right, 28 minutes and 8 seconds.
All right, thank you.
Just the spring track, countdown.
The vernal equinox. You remember the Barlow and James commercial?
Yeah.
When Barlow and James were sitting on their porch and they're rocking, they have a calendar out, and they said, "Oh, it's the vernal equinox." They said, "We both knew vernal as a kid, never thought even talked about it." My favorite commercial of all.
There you go.
Nothing like an equinox commercial, huh? Let's show you what's going on around the area now. We're almost there.
Weather guy.
Did you get it?
Yeah,
Did you get it?
this weather guy.
We know we missed that one.
Everybody, Vernal. All right, 50 and 32 today, 48 and 30 are average, just above average this afternoon. We told you to warm up a little bit. Here's where we started though this morning. Upper 20s and lower 30s, 28 in Port Huron, 28 in Lapeer, 29 in Pontiac. A little warmer around Detroit to the south in the low 30s. Bounce back pretty nicely. Any spots that stay in the 40s, you have a few, especially to the south actually. A little extra cloudiness for more of the day here in Monroe, and 8 inches here and that for 40s, lower 50s for everybody else. Actually, one is in Flint at 54 and 52 in Port Huron. Port Huron, you're not usually one of the warmest spots, so congratulations. It's not bad right now. 51 in Detroit, there's Port Huron at 48. 40s and 50s through northern lower, and then across the UP, it's 30s, yes, but 40s and 50s to the west. And almost always when it warms up there, we're going to warm up down here. Next, looks like we'll probably be back to lower 50s tomorrow. This is a wide shot, obviously. There's a storm out here in the west. That'll take a while to get cranked up and do its thing in the northwest. The moisture from the Gulf Coast area is going to go to the east coast and then up. They had some more snow today. And there is a little wrinkle up here to our north, but for us, it looks like it's not going to be a big issue. And it hasn't been a big issue. This is the watches and warnings graphic. There have been no watches at all issued by the Storm Prediction Center in the month of March for tornadoes or thunderstorms in the whole country. That is unprecedented. Usually there'd be a lot by now if you start at the beginning of the year especially. So it's been very, very calm so far. Let's hope it stays that way. All right, our next issue is the cold front, but it goes more to the east than to the south. So there are some showers out ahead of it. Minnesota over here toward the western UP. Right now it's just coming toward us, but they scoot more through the middle of the peninsula, up around the Saginaw Valley tip of the thumb, more so than around here. So it's not out of the question for a little bit later on to get something on the north side of town, but probably not in the metro area. This evening it's going to be falling back to the 40s here, anywhere from partly to mostly cloudy skies. Winds to the southwest for a while here tonight, so that keeps us up at 40. Again, the rain stays north of the metro area, up around I-69, you might get a little light rain shower. And then tomorrow tomorrow, 52 for the high. Not so bad. Even though the winds turn to the northwest later in the day, they'll start to the southwest. So we'll begin pretty warm, finish pretty nicely. The sun increases. If you're looking for the clouds, that helps. The wind increases as well, and there'll be a slight chance of a shower, again, up around I-69 and up into the sun. So we go from 52, your first weekend of spring on Saturday, to 41. It does get a little chillier here, starting at 26 on Sunday morning. Colder still on Monday, but by Wednesday, we're back to the 50s. That will be a nice springtime day. A little southwest breeze, a little sunshine, might build in some showers, might even smell that good rain in the air. Then we cool it off. So up and down we go, back and forth we go, teeter-totter, seesaw, and the proverbial roller coaster ride. $2.99 for Storm Shield. It's a smart time to start thinking about, hey, you know, I'm preparing that for this spring season.
Yeah, well, spring storms will be coming.
All right, David, here, you know who won today, don't you?
Of course I do. That's why
Where'd
you're
you go?
on that green and that tie, right?
You know what? I just said, why not? It's the NCAA tournament. Maybe I can bring some luck. But if you have Michigan State advancing, you were absolutely right because they put on a show against the Georgia Bulldogs. Highlights and reactions from the fellas next in sports. Stay right there. Beautiful.
And since that we're on break right now, we're gonna go ahead and tell you exactly what we want to do. Is that when we come back tonight at 7 o'clock, we're gonna be having a private interview with one of the viewers today in regards to one of the stories that that he was very emotional about, and that was very touching, and it was very hard for him to actually listen to once again. And because of that, he had to take a moment of prayer for that doctor. It just hit me real hard just like that. I mean, like, the second time when I heard it, and they were telling me what happened, like, out in that area. I mean, I'm okay now, but it was just so touching. I couldn't help it. I just started crying all over again. I couldn't believe it. That they took my advice, that you should call 911. You know, in an event of an emergency. I mean, if anything like that happened to me, honest to God, I would never drive myself there. I would be calling 911. So when I heard the advice that I had told Channel 7, and they, that type of thing, I think my advice kind of helped out, and it kind of made me nervous. It bothered me for a while, but when I heard about it and they added those tips in there, I'm very glad that they did that, because that's the first thing that you do. You should never, ever run away, because it could have been a lot worse. And I kept thinking about that doctor today. I just can't get over the fact that he dragged himself to the hospital. That's hard. And I bet that's very hard on you. And I'm pretty sure there's probably other viewers probably that might be thinking of this. And we just want to thank you for commenting on that. That is very, very touching. Thank you. Back to Channel 7.
Michigan State holds off the Georgia Bulldogs in their first game of the NCAA tournament. It's Travis Trice, Brandon Dawson, and Denzel Valentine leading the Spartans over the Dogs. Here we go in the first half. Trice, the alley-oop over to Mr. Marvin Clark, who kisses it off the window. Michigan State grabs its first lead of the ball game. That is nice. 10 first-half turnovers for Georgia. Obviously a recipe for disaster. Trice a drive and gets one. And then Brent Forbes getting in on the action. Give the kid all three of these. Spartans with their largest lead at 27-20. So before the half, Valentine gonna splash 3 of his 16 points. Spartans giving Magic another reason to smile after this. Trice gonna rise up for the jam. And then Trice says, I want more. How about a little three-pointer? Trice 15 points and 6 assists. Spartans end the first half on an 11-2 run. Second half, Charles Mann pulling the Dogs to within 2. He had 19 points. Spartans answer back though. Forbes doing his part with 14 points off the bench. And then Dawson making some noise with 14 points and 6 boards. But Georgia not going away. Kenny Gaines, the basket and one. That's a 10-2 run for the Bulldogs. But Michigan State makes its free throws down the stretch to win 70-63.
Izzo is now 42-15 in NCAA tournament games. He's also apparently a comedian. But what wouldn't have been funny for him is watching his season end from the free throw line. Denzel Valentine made 6 consecutive free throws to ice this game and gave his coach his 14th first-round win in the last 18 trips.
He wanted me to shoot them all year, especially in a clutch situation, because he has that faith in me. That's a good thing to have for a coach to have his faith in you.
But the Spartans perhaps shouldn't have been put in this situation in the first place. With a 13-point lead with about 6 minutes to go, the Achilles heel of this team returned. The inability to finish strong.
We've been in this position plenty of times where, we had a big lead and, we let the team come back. But as far as, this game in the second half, we just stayed poised as a team.
I don't think it's anything that's unfixable, I think we can really fix that and, quickly bounce back and, be ready for Sunday.
We'll get it. Sometimes we just lose focus. We just lose focus. But I think we'll get it, man.
And closing games isn't something that the second-seeded Virginia Cavaliers have a problem with. Up 2 points with just over 4 minutes to go against the 15-seed Belmont, they ended up pulling away and winning by 12. And if you don't think redemption will be a little bit of a motivation for the Cavaliers, think again. Just look back to last year, the #1 seed Virginia Cavaliers upset by the Spartans. With Michigan State in Charlotte, Justin Rose, 7 Action Sports.
Thank you, Justin. With opening day just around the corner, Brad Austin says that David Price is getting the nod against Minnesota instead of Justin Verlander. This ends Verlander's 7-year run as the team's opening day starter. Tides taking on the Yankees in Lakeland, Florida. This afternoon, little parachute action for the fans, and Alfredo Simon getting shelled in this one. Top one, Brendan Ryan slaps a double off the left field wall. That's going to drive in Brett Gardner to place New York in business, and that's where they'll stay. Simon 6 earned runs on 6 hits in 3 innings. The Yankees prevail 11-2, but that's why it's spring training. But again, the big story, Michigan State moves on.
Go green, go green, go green, go white.
All right, thanks, Dave. Join us for 7 Action News at 7 right after World News tonight. Coming up next with David Muir, then again we'll be back tonight at 11 o'clock.
We are always taking action from you on air and online at WXYZ.com. Have a great night. Come on back and see us.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Channel 7 Action News, WXYZ. We'll see you back here at 7 p.m. And just to end this really quick, we just want to thank all of our viewers for watching us. We're just trying to make sure that you get your full hour of Channel 7 Action News, and we just want to thank all of our viewers once again, and all of our tweets, and all of the responses that we've been getting, and all of the views that we've gotten. We've had a total of 1,941 views on YouTube. So we just want to thank the viewers as well for tuning in to Eric Tallman's station. Congratulations. That's actually really good news. I mean we're getting better. We're getting better. It takes time. It takes time. Now just to think about it, I wonder the reason why my status went up. Now I wonder if it's all my weather reports, or probably all my breaking news and weather reports, all that kind of stuff all mixed in. And I think basically, when we have a big outbreak of severe weather, that actually brings in more viewers to watch. So that actually helps. That very helps. That helps. So we're just trying to add more stuff in the mix, not just doing weather, but also adding stories as well. That's good. That's good. Alright, anyway, we'll see everyone back here at 7 o'clock, and everyone have a good night. And if we are not on at 7 o'clock, that is just because we are trying to get it on there for you. So there may be a delay, but not to worry. We'll make sure that you get your full hour of Channel 7 Action News as well. So thank you so much for joining us, and it is now 6:30. We'll see you back here in half an hour. Thank you.